Coinbase's recent acquisition of derivatives exchange Deribit marks a bold move into the global crypto derivatives market, signals the company's ambitions to deepen its offerings beyond spot trading and expand its international footprint. Here to talk much more about it is Shan Aggarwal. He's the Vice President of Corporate and Business Development and Head of Coinbase Ventures. He joins me now. Shan, grateful for your time. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thanks, JD. Thanks for having me.
So let's start with the Deribit deal, $2.9 billion deal. This is the largest deal in the crypto industry to date, and it gives Coinbase the ability to expand into the crypto options market, which of course is increasingly of interest to people pretty much everywhere. How does this align with Coinbase's long-term vision? Why this particular move?
Yeah, so the primary motivation for us from this acquisition was to build the most comprehensive global crypto derivatives platform, combining Deribit's market-leading options platform with our existing spot and futures platform really gave us that combined capability to take our derivatives business to the next level. And so that was ultimately the primary motivation behind the deal and what ended up consummating in the transaction. And it fits within our broader vision for the company as we think about Coinbase as the leading market and liquidity provider in the space.
How many investments would you say the company has made? I believe it's more than 500, but I'm curious the number and then kind of what you're seeing in terms of B2B focus or Web3 and the general trends that you're seeing in the investment land space on the venture side.
Yeah, so from a Coinbase Ventures perspective, we've made over 500 investments in many of the leading crypto names in the space. Trends that I think we see today are really focused on stablecoins and tokenization. A very strong influx of activity and new companies being formed there, and orients more, I would say, on the B2B side, as a lot of corporates around the world are waking up to the idea that stablecoins offer lower cost, more efficient, and a global payment rail that can just help streamline money movement more broadly. Beyond that, from a Web3 perspective, we're really excited about the developments in on-chain social and the potential that that has to redistribute economics to creators that are actually producing the content themselves.
Yeah, I'm really interested in the derivative side of things that the company is expanding more into. Does your data tell you that retail investors are getting a bit more sophisticated, that they want the derivatives, they want the options play? Is this a pivot more towards meeting institutional investors where they already are, or a combination of both?
Yeah, so options have been growing faster than other categories of derivatives over the past few years, and we expect that that will continue, particularly as the market institutionalizes. Options are a very familiar product that many of the largest institutions in the world are familiar with, and so we expect that with regulatory clarity, as you see new institutions moving into the space, that options will be a familiar product that they use for hedging and expressing different views on price. Deribit is more institutionally oriented, and so we feel that that combines well with Coinbase's existing institutional presence, where we deal with many of the largest asset managers and market makers in the crypto space today.
What do you feel is most unique about Deribit that Coinbase, can now more firmly bring into its ecosystem?
Deribit's very clearly the global options leader. They have sustained market-leading market share across many, many market cycles. And so we're really just excited about that market leadership position and bringing it into the Coinbase umbrella. Beyond that, from a technology perspective, they have a very robust risk management system, which has sustained the many ups and downs of the crypto market over the last 10 plus years. And we feel that that has really been battle tested in the face of significant volatility and will allow us to offer more sophisticated products to our end users, and also just aligns well with our most trusted and reputable brand.
Yeah, Deribit's headquartered in Dubai, and I wonder how that sort of expansion kind of impacts Coinbase's footprint internationally and fit into the company's broader global strategy, not just reaching investors where they are here in the States.
Yeah, Deribit is primarily focused outside of the US, and so we think that's a really strong complement to our existing position in the United States. They have many years of experience operating in ex-US derivatives markets, and we think that that capability will allow us to expand our derivatives footprint outside of the US. when combined with our international exchange, which is based out of Bermuda.
I'm curious about the company's current approach to the general merger and acquisition space. We're in an environment where there are shifting market cycles. There's an evolution that's changing regarding regulatory guidance. How do you and the team at Coinbase really try and stay ahead of all those changes, which you know, Shan, as well as anyone, they're seemingly changing by the day, but at the same time, you need Coinbase to be in a position to compete in the current M&A landscape. How are you balancing all those considerations?
Yeah, we think it's the industry and Coinbase's moment to shine, and a lot of the regulatory clarity has brought in a renewed interest in the space, which is great. It also gives us a lot of fuel to actually pursue an aggressive M&A strategy as we think about the pieces that we want to bring into the fold to help us accelerate our roadmap. And so we're seeing that dynamic play out here with Deribit, and there's other acquisitions that we've acquired announced earlier this year, and we expect that to continue for the foreseeable future.
How does Coinbase benefit from increased crypto support from both ends of Pennsylvania Avenue? Not just a president who is fashioning himself and really positioning himself as the most crypto-friendly administration we've seen, but also the support of Congress. Got a lot of key legislation, things like regulating stable coins and more firmly establishing how those coins are pegged to the dollar. Does Coinbase stand to benefit from an environment in Washington that's maybe a bit more friendly overall?
Absolutely. Look, we think about regulation as being absolutely essential to providing additional credibility and clarity to the space. And the downstream impact of that is it invites new institutional participants to touch crypto assets, offer crypto trading to their end users, leverage stablecoin for payments. And while Coinbase is primarily known for its user-facing platforms across retail users, institutions, and developers, we've built a tremendous amount of crypto infrastructure that we actually make available to third parties as well, so that when they say, hey, we actually want to participate and offer crypto products and services to our end users, we don't have to build all of this from scratch. We can actually just work with Coinbase. And so, I think the comparable dynamic that I would point to that we've seen there is with what happened with the ETF markets, where the approval of the ETFs was obviously a watershed moment in the crypto space, and a lot of that was actually enabled using Coinbase's custody and trading infrastructure.
Bitcoin is up 11% so far year to date. As you and I are having this conversation, it is back above 104. What does a surge in Bitcoin price mean for Coinbase?
Yeah, look, it's obviously great to see things on the positive light. We don't look at the prices on a day-to-day basis, but it's exciting and it invites a lot of new interest into the space. And so we think about that as, again, shining a spotlight on the work that Coinbase has been doing during both up cycles and down cycles. For us, it's really about the long-term conviction, but it brings it center stage in a way that is very exciting for the company, because there's new demand for us to serve with our products and services.
Yeah, and finally here, Shan, despite the uncertainty, we talk a lot about it in the general financial markets, how few answers we actually have what the path forward looks like, but I wonder what most excites you about the next 12 to 24 months, especially in the conversation of investments or new partnerships that you think might drive Coinbase's goals even further.
One partnership in particular that I'm really excited about, that I think gives a sense of direction for where Coinbase is going, is with our primary brokerage product. We partner with Morpho, which is a on-chain lending protocol. And for any user of Coinbase that wants to, say, take out a loan on Bitcoin that they hold on Coinbase, they can do that in one click, but on the back end, it's all enabled by open financial protocols. And that particular instance is focused on borrowing USDC against Bitcoin, but we plan and we can see that expanding to many other use cases, whether that's trading, whether that's lending, whether that's other types of financial services. And so I think that's really exciting and provides a lot of surface area for us to focus on from a partnership perspective.
And it's a really important time to be having these conversations about partnerships, especially with the terrain and the path forward. Really grateful for your time today. That's Shan Aggarwal. He's Vice President of Corporate and Business Development and Head of Coinbase Ventures. Congrats on the work. Thanks for being here, Shan. Good to have you.
Thank you.